I just wanted to play cricket. I love playing cricket. I hardly thought about schoolwork or anything like that. Academic wise, I just wanted to play cricket. I love cricket.
Yeah.
I think about cricket every day.
So, Shavon, again, thank you so much for your time, mate. Honestly, this is great. Really appreciate this.
It's no problem. Happy to be here.
Let's talk about how it all started. So, growing up in Barbados, playing cricket, how was it like?
It was basically very important. One of the most important sports in Barbados. It was very popular in my time. I guess it has faded away now, but when I was a youngster, everyone wanted to play cricket. You will see uh everyone just playing cricket on the streets or on playgrounds and things like that there. I started getting interested in cricket by seeing looking at my brother playing cricket in his school days. And my father used to take me with him all the time. I started playing cricket when I was four.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
4 years old, yeah. Just bowling at my dad like all the time while we watch cricket. I used to watch my brother play cricket, and he will bowl balls at me as well. But I was more interested in bowling than batting. I just loved bowling when I was a young lad.
Wow. Right. Okay.
Yeah,
So, was there always like a rivalry between you and your brother? Oh,
yeah, yeah. We still have it to this day. I guess isn't a family thing. We even to the smallest thing, if you play like a card game or like that, we're very competitive, very competitive. um my first time playing cricket, actually playing in a cricket match, I took 4 wickets and he was kind of jealous. There's no way you could have taken 4 wickets on your first time playing cricket. It was,
how does it actually work in Barbados? Did you like progress through your school or age group
yeah,
cricket?
yeah. So we will start in primary school in something called the Herman Griffith under 13 competition, where all primary schools in Barbados will just play against each other, and there's different zones. So I played in the central zone. Well, me and my brother played in the central zone in his time and in my time. So, and then there was club cricket, like juniors club cricket. So we every weekend there'll be club cricket, and during the weekdays it'll be cricket for schools. So you play cricket basically almost say 3-4 days a week.
When growing up, did you, as a child, have a clear vision that I'll grow up and become a cricketer, or did that not happen?
I guess I did. I guess I always wanted to be to play for West Indies, to be an international cricketer. But I didn't really thought about that as a young lad. I only thought about it going to my teenage years. I just wanted to play cricket. I love playing cricket. Just going out and playing with your friends and just having fun. It was not really in a serious as a young child, which is a normal thing. But
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah,
I love cricket.
yeah.
I think about cricket every day, thought process during the week, just waiting till the weekend comes just to play cricket is I just love it.
So I'm assuming like you progressed through your age level cricket,
Yeah, yeah,
and then you started getting more and more serious about it.
yeah,
So
yeah.
at what stage did you think to yourself that I'm good at this and I think I can make a career out of it?
I thought about it seriously, and I was going into secondary school. So like they I would say here the juniors used to go and play uh like for Barbados, but it wasn't called Barbados. It was National Sports Council.
Right.
So they used to get picked from playing school cricket and club cricket, and they will go and play a touring match in the Caribbean, in England or wherever it is, that they set it up. And once I heard that, then I definitely took it serious. I really wanted to get there. Unfortunately, it didn't, but it never really stopped me from, getting where I wanted to be. So that's when I started cricket very serious, like say 10, 11, I would say.
So when you were about 10, 11 years old,
Yeah,
that's when you really thought to yourself, you know,
yeah,
I want to get serious
yeah,
about this.
yeah. My mom actually told me that, there's you can actually make a quick career in cricket as well, knowing that Barbados cricket is the number one sport in Barbados, and financial wise is like, you get paid well playing cricket. So I never really thought about the financial wise, but like the things that my mother said, I really thought about it, and they always, were supportive and stuff for everything that I do. So I just wanted to be serious. At that age, I said I wanted to play cricket from then on. Like I didn't want to think about anything else. I hardly like thought about schoolwork or anything like that. Academic wise, I just wanted to play cricket.
But good to know about Shavon that, he was clear in his head,
Yeah.
like at a very young age, and that like, sets him apart from the rest of his peers in a way that, they tend to like decide a bit later. So that's pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's great. So when you're growing up, then did you have any any specific cricketers that you looked up to and said, that's like someone that I really admire?
I always like to see as a medium pace, I always like to see like Brett Lee and Glenn McGrath, those guys, because like they were like very, destructive in their time. I also like to see Andrew Flintoff and those guys as well. West Indian part, Tino Bess, Jerome Taylor, I always like to see those guys growing up because basically like, they were role models as a medium pacer. But then obviously going to the stages, I started to work on my batting, and then I love seeing Ricky Ponting and Ian Bell. Those like back in the day of those guys, like just love seeing them like the way how they play, very classy, play all their shots, weren't really afraid, about anything. So yeah, I was obviously my brother was a role model as well, but international wise, yeah, those are the two guys I would definitely look at.
Let's fast forward to 2022. So you're here now
Yeah,
in the UK. You've come over as an overseas pro. Firstly, how has it been, your experience here?
uh,
Is this your first time doing
yes,
something
it's
like
my
this?
yeah, it's my first time actually going like in international waters, play to play cricket as a pro and get paid for it. And it was quite challenging at first because it was adapting to the weather and conditions. It was quite hard because in the Caribbean you always get like warm conditions, and the the pitches were like kind of, you would get extra bounce in the Caribbean. While in England you won't really get that much bounce, and the guys are much slower. So it was quite challenging. I adapt quite late to it, but eventually I got the hang of it, and then I started performing well. And obviously learn from the guys I play with as well. They didn't pressure me, obviously being a international pro, they always would depend on you, to do well and stuff. And it got to me a bit, but I just, I just watch and see how they perform and stuff, how it goes. I answer a lot of questions, the way of how it is and stuff. And it really did help a lot. And it really made my cricket quite stronger. So going back home now, I'd probably be in a better state of mind, in a better, like way to play cricket. Like I think my cricket has definitely evolved to, to be playing in another level, probably into first class level or maybe international level now. Because playing down here really give me some good experience that I can definitely bring back home and basically like show what I can do back at home. Yeah.
Interesting. You mentioned about the clarity of mind that you. It took you a bit longer to get that after speaking to a few cricketers here. Can you
Yeah.
elaborate a bit about how that came about? Like, what was it? Just asking questions or thinking about the game, or how you really had that
Yeah.
clarity of mind come about in your game?
Yeah. I like I said, I just obviously I wasn't performing well. I would speak to my captain or some of the guys, that obviously were playing this type of cricket. They'll tell me, the reason why I'm not scoring runs or, like that kind of stuff. Like I really was really focused because I really wanted to do well. Even though it was my first year, I really wanted to do well. And I but I hope that in the future, next year, hopefully playing for these guys or, in the future, that I can adapt obviously much quicker in the future.
So yeah, no wonder. I mean, what you're saying is absolutely correct. Even the international cricketers, when they tour these countries, they have practice games and they come to the countries much before the actual tour starts. Just to adapt to the conditions and get used
Yeah.
to different wickets and the swinging conditions. And that's
Yeah.
what does cricket, and that's the beauty of cricket, isn't it? When you travel to the subcontinent, the wickets are different, and you've got to adapt to a different kind of pitches, and where the pitches turn quite a lot. So that's the beauty of this game, isn't it? And all this, like you were very clear about how it's your mind that helps you to change the perception. Like you can get used to the physical conditions pretty quickly, but it's the mind that helps you quite a bit as well. And that's one thing which is pretty important, I feel, and you've elaborated that pretty nicely as well, so that's pretty cool. Any particular interesting experiences or stories you've had whilst you've been here, like maybe cricket
Oh
related
yeah.
or otherwise?
Yeah, definitely. My first game here came like we had a practice game came the Friday morning. Then my captain said we have a practice game. It's going to be a bit cold, but I think you'll be all right. I don't think it'll be that bad, so I said, no problem.
Okay.
Came the first game on. It was so cold. Like my hands were freezing. I I was like fighting to catch a ball or even feel the ball go. Like we were doing like practice, like warm up and feeling the ball, and it was very painful. It was definitely not something that I was ready for. It was it was frightening, but it was also like quite exciting to see how different the conditions are and how I tried bowling the balls. My ball, like my fingers were so numb. I could not grip the ball. Like my first over, I bowled every ball short. Like I think that most like 4 or 5 balls probably like bounced twice before the batsman. It was really that bad.
Yeah,
After that I said, oh my God, that I have to adapt to this type of condition. Like I
yeah.
have to stay warm. Like I did I did everything like before, like how to stay warm. I even look it up on like Google and stuff, how to get your fingers warm and stuff,
So
before a
how
game.
do you actually get your fingers warm?
Well, we get hand warmers and just probably like just keep rubbing your hands and stuff, keep it like keep it moving, just not let it stay still.
Yeah.
And it helped me quite a bit, but it was still like difficult, just to bowl that cricket ball. Batting wise, it wasn't hard enough. Like batting wise, it was okay, but like the bowling aspect, it was really difficult. It was really really difficult.
Having said that, you've adapted pretty well and scored almost 1,000 runs for the club and picked up
Yeah,
like 30 wickets, which is a sensational achievement
yeah, yeah,
considering the difficult start you had.
yeah.
But in terms of what you're mentioning about the cold, both Pratik and I can relate to this because Pratik's grown up in Australia and New Zealand, which is quite warmer, and
Hmm.
I've grown up in India. So, and we've been here for
Yeah.
like some time in this country, and Pratik and I can like Pratik can say this as well that we are not used to this cold even now, right?
I used to. I'm not
Uh,
Yeah,
used to. I'm wearing a
exactly.
I'm,
duncher
I'm,
right now.
it
Yeah.
is crazy, yeah.
Yeah.
Like you always like hear conversations about the locals saying like how you adapting to the weather, and I always say still not adapting to it. It's still too cold for me.
Shavon, like now that the season in England is almost finishing and you're planning to head back to Barbados as of now, what
Yeah.
are your future plans in terms of going forward, or like a rough idea in your mind as to what you plan to do for the next few years? I know you want to like eventually end up playing. Your dream is to play. Your vision is to play for West Indies and play like
Yeah.
across all three formats of the game and play franchisee cricket and all sorts of stuff. And I would expect anybody of your age who's got that kind of talent, and I've seen your batting personally. You're immensely talented, the way you play. So, what are your future plans? Can you just elaborate a bit on that, please?
I think I can like change. Obviously I want to play for West Indies, but like I changed my dream a bit. Not only want to play for West Indies, but I want to play cricket all over the world. Even though I have not has to play for West Indies, I can play for like another club in a different country and that sort of stuff. To see like to experience how they play cricket and stuff. I think that is to me like the fun of it. The amusement of it. Like I really am interested in seeing how it goes. My plan is to go back. Obviously there is 4 day 4 day competition, like the regional 4 day first class rate coming up next year. And when I go back home, I'll be playing domestic cricket, which is like building up for that tournament. So like hopefully, hopefully I do well. Well, I would like to do well in that competition. And then, they'll be looking at me, as to be, what this guy probably is ready to play at that level next year for this tournament. So I guess that's the plan right now. To, go and do well back at home. Obviously score runs, take some wickets. Because it is quite hard. They don't really see much batsmen that can bowl leg spin as well. So I would like to be the first person, to be in that, criteria. You see batsmen that can bowl quick. You see batsmen that bowl finger spin, but you don't really see much that do wrist spin. So I think that's another goal that I really want to do as well. To bring my name forward, I can do both.
You might be the second one in the world to be doing that. The first one is
right.
great Sachin
Sorry.
Tendulkar, and you might be the second one. Yeah, it's a great batsman, and a leg
Yeah.
spinner, right? So that's a rare combination, and I'm pretty sure, like I can only think of one other person other than you. So you are already a unique set of cricketers already.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. No, I bet your family must be missing you as well. You've been here for about 4 to 5 months. Your family is missing. You're missing family life and life back in Barbados, and all that. Obviously, you would want to catch up with your friends and play cricket with them.
Yeah.
So that's all. Yeah, I bet you are longing to go back now to West Indies.
Yeah. Definitely happy going back home to obviously see my friends, my family.
Yeah.
Obviously, my girlfriend. She misses me a lot. I miss her a lot as well. It's quite tough. Obviously, going to a different country you not really know what you don't really know about, and staying for a long period of time, it really takes a toll on your mind.
Yeah.
But I think like what I did this far, like, I think I managed it quite well, and I can learn from what I did from this season. Obviously, but if I go back next year, I probably may be doing much better because I know how the conditions are. I know what to do, to become better in cricket for the next season. So yeah, it was a great experience, and I would love to come back next year. Honestly, it's great.
Let me ask you this question, Shavon. So you mentioned that being away from family for such a long period takes a bit of a toll on your mind.
Yeah.
And you've obviously been playing cricket for a long time now. So what's your motivation behind playing cricket? What keeps you going?
Oh, that was a good question. I think my motivation is, to be known as, a guy that, wasn't really well known, like came up quite late. No one really know you as a young lad, and then becoming like one most entertaining cricketers in the world. I think that's my motivation to be, like I said, to obviously be a batsman and be a leg spinner as well. To be one of the best, well, not one of the best, but like close to be one of the best of all rounders in international cricket. And the mentality is going to be tough, but I think I definitely will, will do what is necessary to get there, because that is a drive that I wanted for quite a long time.
I mean, you are certainly very entertaining, because when I was watching you bat, there were a lot of people who were watching you bat who said that they would pay to watch you bat. So you are certainly an entertaining cricketer, and
Yeah,
you are on the
really
right
appreciate
track.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's amazing. What I wanted to pick your brain actually more on the mental aspect of the game. So,
Yeah.
how do you actually prepare for a game? Do you have any set routine mentally, or obviously for the physical side of things, you have nets and practice. But how
Yeah.
do you go about preparing yourself for a game mentally?
I always think about the previous game before, or my experiences, from many games that I played, and what I can do, to do better in the game. So say if I'm basically, rushing my momentum, trying to score fast runs, I think about it during the week, go and practice on it. If it works out, and then, hopefully it delivers. If it doesn't, you go back to the drawing board and see what is there, for me to perform in cricket. So I don't really think much about it. I just think about what I can do, what are my flaws from past games, and practice as well, and I go and do it in the actual matches.
All right. So do you do all of this in your head, or do you actually
Yeah,
write it down?
yeah. I basically just think about it in my head. I don't really, some people will write it down and stuff. I just think about it in my head. I think about it before I go to sleep. I think about it in the morning, during the day. I would I would basically like I will have a ball in my hand every time I just try to basically like just flick it in my hands, to get that control, how to hold the ball better, like in different ways when my normal grip isn't working. I always think about those kind of stuff. I always have a bat in my hand as well too. Like I always see like where how to hold the bat properly, to where to play it. Like I play a lot of shadow shots. Like I read sorry, I watched a video of Steve Smith, and he always have a bat in his hand, even when he's
I think he even
back in the
speaks with a bat,
hotel.
doesn't he?
Yeah, he's back in the hotel. Everyone said that he's always have a bat in hand. He just plays shadow shots. I really do believe in that as well. Like I like, because I do the same thing. I put Sometimes I put all of my pads and gloves and everything on, and that kind of stuff, just to get the feel of it, and yeah, that's basically my entire team during before the game.
Shavon, we actually have a cricket journal where I did mention to you briefly about it, where
Yes, you did.
the
Yeah.
idea is for cricketers to write what they think, and the belief is that if you write what you think, it becomes a part of your subconscious mind, and you're more
Yeah.
likely to execute it. And that's why it's interesting to know the way you prepare, because every cricketer has a different way of preparing things. And we recently heard about Manas Labuschagne, who's like a sensational player.
Yeah,
He
he is.
he has this routine of writing down things, and then he tends to prepare and then reflect on it, and that, he says, seems to really work for him. So
Mm.
it's quite interesting to know how people like, and the journal that we've basically come up with helps people do that in a way. I would be more than like, when I meet you next time, I'll show you a snippet of the journal, as to how that works, and how that
Yeah,
how
definitely,
we are
definitely.
planning to help people in that regard.
Yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Yeah, I think writing is something, for people who don't really, probably will have doubts of what they thought about before the game. Like they will say that they will do this, and then when the game comes, like their thought process just go all over the place. Like,
Yeah.
and it happens to me as well sometimes. Like I will go and I see a bowling ball, and then my mind just goes to how am I going to face this guy rather than what I should be doing, what I was thinking about during the week before when the game comes, and it sometimes it doesn't work out for you. Like obviously you underperform, and it really takes a toll. So yeah, writing down like what you want to do and stuff is really important anyway. So yeah, I definitely agree. And I would love to really look into your journal because the way how we spoke about, before, like you really love the game as much as I do, and I really would love to see, what you have so far,
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, no, I'll be more than happy to share that with you, Shavon.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you were to just to say who's your one idol that you look up to in cricket?
I look up to my brother now.
Oh
He
yeah,
he's the first one in my family, from generations that played cricket, that played international cricket. Definitely would follow in his footsteps because he paved the way, of how just people that that were good at cricket but can be even better, can make it into international level, and people with talent, not only just talent, but hardworking, can get you where you want to be. And yeah, that's the reason why he's my role model. I
yeah,
look up to him. I speak to him basically almost every day on the same thought process and when he goes about his game and stuff. And I will learn that from him as well, get some feedback on him, going on into my game. People say that we have like the same type of like batting batting action. Like it looks very similar. Like
yeah.
yeah.
I
So
can tell that because I've seen him bat and I've seen you bat. Again,
yeah,
he's very strong off his feet as well.
yeah,
He can pick the
yeah,
ball. Like, and again, Pratik Shavon is extremely strong off the feet. He doesn't need time to even see the ball. Like last game that we played, the first ball of the quick bowler, he flicked him without even getting a hang of the pace of the wicket or the ball is on the feet, he'll go for it. And that reminds me of a lot of Indian cricketers, and
Yeah.
and I can relate to you in that way. But yeah, that's
yeah.
pretty cool.
Yeah, I watch a lot of Indian cricket as well. Like they play their shots. They're not like tied down.
No.
They don't like to get tied down. They like to play freely. Even in Test cricket, like Rishabh Pant, like you will never see anyone like run down to Jimmy Anderson and those guys. Like I like to see those kind of things. Like keep the bowler on like under pressure.
Yeah.
Don't make him feel that he's comfortable bowling on one line. Make him think you have to work hard. To get me out. I mean,
Yeah.
it may be easy for me to get out by being reckless, but I can, still get your mind, to a different thought processing
Right.
by doing that kind of stuff. And yeah, that's the
Yeah.
reason why I love to watch Indians bat and bowl. They're very aggressive in their cricket. So yeah, love Indian cricket as well too.
Yeah. Shavon, my last question from us,
Yeah.
mostly, this is like, do you have a particular cricket match or a particular cricket memory that you're absolutely fond of and you want to share? It might be just a cricket statistic, or you've just done very well in a game of cricket, maybe at school level, or any of the club cricket that you've played. We would love to hear that one story of
Um,
your cricket related story.
I primary school, I'll never forget. I took 6 wickets for 6 runs in five overs. Yeah, I would never forget that. And I never was like studying it, I just wanted to bowl. And then when my coach told me, you got 6 wickets, I was like, I was shocked with myself, and I was even in newspaper that that same week. So I took six wickets, and then they took 2 wickets after, and they saw me like celebrating. Like it was quite cool. I'll never forget that. Yeah, first time ever took in something, that no one has done, like taking 5 wickets in the game. Sorry, 6 wickets in the game, and
Yeah.
for 6 runs, that's quite great. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
something
that is
I'll
in
never
India.
forget. Yeah,
That is indeed one of the best, a very good statistic to have at such a young age, and that itself can be a motivating thing to pursue cricket. Sometimes,
yeah,
so like as growing up, so small things can just make you pursue things, and that
yeah,
those statistics, 6 for 6. I mean, I bet you remember that so
yep,
vividly, and it's going to remain a part of your life for the rest of your cricket career and the rest of your life, isn't it?
yep.
Yeah,
I remember every wicket as well too. Every wicket, never forget it. And I
yeah.
always think that I can get 6 wickets again. Got a couple, got close, got a couple of 5 wicket hauls, but never another 6 wicket haul. So yeah, it's really, really, really something that I'll always cherish as a cricketer.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to happen very, very soon in the future.
Hopefully, eventually.
Yeah, all the best for the rest of your career
Yeah,
and the rest of the year and the rest of the training, rest of the
Thank you
cricket.
so much. Thanks.